let's see. Engage Depeche Mode. So, yeah, I noticed that, ever since I started this new job, there hasn't been any, like, grinding. There hasn't been any loud, obnoxious noises.
Interference.
There hasn't been any, anybody, like, yelling extremely loudly over said obnoxious metallic grinding noises. So, I had a hole to fill. I had a void to fill in my life.
Collateral feedback.
So, I figured what better way to fill it than abrasive music.
Nostalgia for
Yeah.
machine noise.
Machine noise, yeah. So, I went on a binge.
Today.
An industrial binge.
Well, good.
So, and we're here to talk about it, of course. But, I guess you can kind of count the very, very beginnings of industrial music in the 40s. Whenever you had the folks like Cage and them apply non-conventional ideas to conventional, or to music proper. Like the idea of, say,
Stuff falling down.
There's
Stuff scraping.
using a steel drum as a drum or whatever, a barrel or a drill or something. And sometimes playing absolutely nothing at all. The 433 man. So, yes, a lot of people like to argue about that, but I would kind of go on the fence as to say it counts as pseudo, because that'll carry you into the 50s and stuff that is more avant-garde instead of actual abrasive industrial music. Because it's not about just non-traditional stuff as instruments. It's also the new technology. So, the new technology of tape loops and over-amplification. So, to me that doesn't count because it's barely like abrasive. It's abrasive in music composition and construction, and not abrasive in, say, actual noise. So,
oh, at least there's good debate topics.
Yeah, you go into the 60s, and a lot of people like to say the garage bands, like the Velvet Underground, are part of this thing. But I, of course, say no because it's too orchestrated. It's like the garage band sound is music still.
Yeah, you have to differentiate between genres at some point. Guys.
Yeah. So your boy Peorage in the 70s, he was like, you know what? To hell with everything you guys did. Like, we need music that's not orchestrated. We need to play instruments in non-traditional fashions, and we need to use non-instruments as instruments. Was the first album called the Second Annual Report? Yeah.
Yeah. First Annual Report is just a compilation of unreleased previous reports.
I always get that mixed up.
Second Annual Report. Well, it's because of that single.
Yeah.
They released a single first that counted as First Annual Report. One called that, so the album is called Second Annual Report.
Yeah. So, glad that's cleared up.
Genesis P.
So,
now, don't forget the lady.
Yes.
I forgot the name of the two other guys.
Yeah.
Of Throbbing Gristle, but don't forget the lady from Throbbing Gristle. She's awesome.
It's Cozy Fanny. Cozy.
Tootie.
Yeah. Tootie.
It's not Cozy Fan Tootie.
It's Cozy.
You went ahead and put the fanny in.
Fanny Tootie. Yeah.
Remember what a British fanny is? Hence that she thought it would be funny to be called
and it's
cozy fanny tootie.
Yeah, so they of course went against music because it's a new form of music to not be music, I guess. So it counts as a new form of music to not be music, but also it's an industry. It is the music industry.
Industry.
So yes, industrial, industry, it all makes makes
I
sense.
remember on the back of the album, it was this funny whole entire paragraph of pretending to be a company sales report or whatever.
Yeah.
Talking about this and
Yeah, I mean,
satirizing
it's the report. Yeah.
companies, corporations making sales reports.
It's the it's
in
the report.
the industry.
So, yeah, what else can you say about it? But it follows the philosophy fantastically. It's not music, so it's industrial music.
It doesn't count.
There you go. So, and another key thing that happened in the formulation of industrial music is Lou Reed, our boy.
Oh, Metal Man. Yes.
Metal Machine Man,
Again, be remiss.
Music
to
Man,
not go.
Music Machine Metal.
No, Metal Man.
It's not Lens. It's not Lens with Man Machine, but it's Music Machine Music Man.
Yeah. The
So-
Music Machine
Music Machine.
Man.
Yes. So, prominent, considered widely is like the second or third major industrial act or whatever. So, during the mid 70s, that's about all you get is Throbbing Gristle and Lou Reed.
It's the same as everything else. These influences all form a big jumble of pioneering and precursing. You
Yeah.
of course mentioned Brian Eno.
Yeah. Brian Eno, yeah, he plays.
That one album he made with Robert Fripp
Yeah.
from like 1972.
That's got a pretty abrasive sound to it. A lot of noise. Unconventional stuff. So, yeah, this, you basically get Throbbing Gristle up until about the late 70s. And, which is about when they break up. I think they break up in the early 80s, technically. 81, 82. But but there's another group that's willing to take the helm. But before we get into that, we gotta decide whether Kraftwerk counts as industrial.
Yes, I think they do.
Because
I think they do at least as pioneer. Yeah.
yeah, to me it's kind of like I'll probably go along with it, but it also sounds like music. The whole non-music music debate. But the other headline, undeniably industrial act that kind of takes the torch from Throbbing Gristle is a group called the Cabaret Voltaire.
Oh.
Yeah. Very cultured name. And those first three albums especially are basically Throbbing Gristle 2.0. There's a little bit more rhythm and syncopation, but for the most part, still very abrasive, still very noise-filled, very loud, very awesome. And you basically have that to carry you through to the mid-80s. The mid to late 80s is whenever things start getting a little diluted and branchy. It's the act of putting industrial elements into your already established genres instead of industrial morphing and finding its way through time or whatever. So on this branch, you would basically have like more synthesizer based, more electronic forms of industrial, like typo negative and Cabaret Nocturne or whatever new, N-E-U with an exclamation point.
Went down to the Spike jail.
And then, or heck, why not? Maybe Depeche Mode counts, I don't know. But, and then Depeche Mode's kind of more new wave though. Synth pop-ish. And the other branch would be basically 9 Inch Nails or Trent Reznor, industrial rock.
Oh yes, we're splitting into
Yeah. So
we're doing some good splintering.
The first of many, and a lot of people, whenever you bring up industrial, that's automatically what they jump to is Trent Reznor. Like, oh yeah, like it wasn't a thing before he existed. So
the heritage of
props.
Nin.
Yeah, Pretty Hate Machine just didn't happen. There had to be a lineage of things beforehand. Broken took things to a new 90s feel. So, and in the 90s is when you kind of have your branches of branches thing. So holding it down for America is Wax Tracks for the more electronic based stuff, like Frontline Assembly and 343 and whatever, the group with the P that we did a video on before.
The plenipotentiary.
And of course, during the 90s, your industrial rock would feature, Ministry, Marilyn Manson, anything with a heavy, grinding, repetitive beat. The industrial scene would kind of die down starting around the 2000s with the dissolution of Wax Tracks and the continued mainstream appeal, but basically only having Trent Reznor hold it down through the 2000s, because then you have your other bands that compete with the industrial sound, like nu metal and your hip hop rock and kid rock and freaking the metal, the actual metal of the 2000s, and then industrial. During 2010, we stepped down again in notoriety with basically just Trent Reznor holding it down.
Man,
basically that's when you have like noise rock started getting a bit more popular in 2010 during the 2010s.
This isn't fair.
And Japan noise, the Japanese noise rocks started getting more popular in 2010, but the electronic branch got a heavy boost with the release of that Cyberpunk game in the early 2020s.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I forget the name of the people that did the trailer music for that, but it catapulted the abrasive electronic sound back into the limelight. And then you got bands like 3/4 doing their awesome cover of Pumped Up Kicks. But yeah, so that's where we're at today. I guess it would count as revived interest in the electronic branch, and noise rock kind of holding it down for the rock side. But
the tech bubble.
Yeah.
Or what's it called? The disruption.
So, yeah, there it is. It's very short. There's really not a lot to this genre. Doesn't splinter, like, it does splinter off, but then it like assimilates and assimilates again. So there's kind of not a lot, but there is a lot type thing.
Didn't Ministry have some kind of comeback related to the Donald Trump presidency or something? I could have sworn it was like... It was this whole concert...
Wait.
Based on Donald Trump controversy of... Yeah, I think so. I think it was only a couple years ago.
Yeah, that. Why didn't I hear anything about that?
He was making his stand, and they were playing samples of Donald Trump's voice, and yeah.
Man. But yeah, so yeah, there it is. Void in my life fulfilled, I guess. Maybe not do it again.
Oh, yeah, you can give it a couple years and it'll make a little cycle, yeah.
So yeah, everything is cyclical and all that, and yeah, maybe we'll get another throbbing gristle here in like maybe 10 to 20 years.
And tide us over.
Yeah.
To
2050.